In the shadows of the dark night, the waters of the East China Sea whispered their secrets. Miles from the Japanese island of Amano-shima, the sounds of hidden engines echoed. A small ship glided among the waves like a specter, disguised as a calm fisherman, but within lurked a charge of mystery and lethality. At dawn on December 22, 2001, the sea fog was thick, wrapping itself around the ships like a veil, obscuring their features. The shadows of Japanese surveillance ships occasionally appeared. Off Japanese waters, Japanese Coast Guard boats appeared, carrying men trained to be silent and cautious, armed with the power of the law and the will to repel any intrusion. On the other hand, the intruder, a ship allegedly belonging to North Korea, still maintained the appearance of an ordinary fisherman, but concealed weapons and snipers within its hull. On board, cautious eyes saw men with eyes gleaming with defiance and danger, and hearts harder than steel. The first warnings were issued: stop immediately. You are violating Japanese economic waters. The silent ship responded with silence. It showed no response, but seemed to defy the law itself. Then, a warning shot was fired into the air. Then, a second. Gradually, bullets began to rain down, machine gun fire alternating between the bridges, between the boats, and intersecting in the water. 6 hours of fierce fighting stretched on, as if time had stopped, listening to the echo of the bullets. More than 1,000 rounds were fired on both sides. The Japanese tried to direct their fire toward the bow of the intruding ship to minimize casualties, whether there were civilians or imposters on board. But the mysterious thing about the battle was that it was not without its deadly moments: explosions that shook the hull from time to time, and black smoke that rose into the sky. But the Japanese were prepared. Despite the pressure and tension, they tightened their siege and increased their fire. As the Japanese boats approached the intruding ship, conventional weapons were spotted on its deck, possibly concealed shoulder-fired missiles. Without warning, the rebel ship fired counterattacks. Some of these hit the Japanese boats, shaking the hulls under the impact of the shells. Then, in a desperate moment, the final explosions occurred, the internal belts ignited, the small submersibles hidden in the sides of the hull exploded, and the ship collapsed. The waves rushed in, swallowing the ship in its darkness. But orders were strict, the political risk was high. The Japanese boats were told not to approach the survivors for fear of possible resistance or sedition. Thus, they left those who survived in the Great Sea, departing with hearts heavy with decisions whose light was not seen by those who were at the heart of the battle. Japan issued an official announcement: the ship was a North Korean spy boat, disguised as a fishing vessel, carrying sophisticated intelligence equipment and hidden dangers. The North's losses were estimated at 15 dead, and 2 Japanese were reported wounded.